of naming the muscular anatomy in the human body has evolved over many centuries, with contributions from various cultures, scientists, and anatomists. Here's a brief overview. Ancient contributions, Greek and Roman influence. Early anatomical studies can be traced back to ancient Greece. The Greeks were the first to systematically study the human body, though much of their knowledge was theoretical. Hippocrates, 460 to 370 BC, often called the father of medicine, wrote about muscle function, although the names of muscles were not standardized. Galen, 129 to 200 AD, a Roman physician who was influential in anatomy. His descriptions of muscles were based on dissection of animals, and many of his terms lasted for centuries. He named some muscles by their function or location, such as pectoralis, from Latin for chest. Early anatomists, 16th to 17th century. With the Renaissance came a revival of anatomical study. Andreas Vesalius, 1514 to 1564, a Flemish anatomist, published De Humani Corporis Fabrica in 1543, where he meticulously described human anatomy through dissection. This work laid the groundwork for future anatomical studies and included terms that became foundational for naming muscles. Vesalius and his contemporaries used both Latin and Greek in their naming conventions, often describing muscles based on their shape, size, location, or function. For example, biceps, meaning two heads. The role of Latin and Greek. Much of the naming system for muscles is based on Latin and Greek, languages used by scholars and anatomists. Latin was especially dominant in anatomical terminology, as it was the universal language of scholarship during much of the Renaissance and early modern periods. For example, terms like deltoid, from the Greek letter delta, because of its triangular shape, or gastrocnemius, from Greek for belly and leg, describing the shape of the calf muscle, reflect the use of descriptive naming. 18th, 19th century developments. In the 18th and 19th centuries, anatomists continued refining their understanding of the human body through dissection and study. William Hunter and John Bell contributed to muscular anatomy during this time. The development of comparative anatomy, which studied muscles across different species, also influenced naming, as similarities in muscle structures were noted between humans and other animals. Modern naming conventions. By the 19th and 20th centuries, the system of naming muscles became more standardized, with anatomists like Henry Gray, author of Gray's Anatomy, first published in 1858, codifying muscle names in a way that is still in use today. Today, muscle names are derived from several factors, including location, shape, size, number of heads, and function. Key takeaways. Muscle names have evolved from ancient Greek and Roman influences, with Galen's work being a significant contributor. During the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods, anatomical understanding grew, leading to more precise naming conventions. Latin and Greek remained central in the anatomical lexicon, with names often being descriptive of muscle structure, function, and location. Modern anatomical nomenclature is highly standardized, allowing for clear and consistent identification of muscle groups.